If you or someone in your family has eczema or suffers from reflux, you know how frustrating it can be. Constantly having to manage what you put in your mouth or on your skin is a daily struggle. Pediatric expert Sara Chana is here to talk more about natural ways to cure these common conditions. And most of us know that eating smaller meals more often can help with reflux, but are there other things that we should be doing?
Well, it's interesting to note that children, when they breastfeed, eat 8 to 12 times in a 24-hour period. So what children and what human bodies tend to do best with is eating smaller feeds, allowing the body to digest and then eat a little bit later. That doesn't mean that you just eat potato chips and you just eat cookies all day. I'm talking real foods. So when we come to children and talk about newborns, reflux is actually one of the most stressful experiences for women. It is such a painful experience. You give birth to a beautiful baby and the baby cries all the time.
Yes, my daughter had it. I mean, it's
so
a nightmare.
It's a nightmare. So it's very important when you're nursing or bottle feeding a baby to keep the baby upright after a feed. Very often when you burp them, you want to keep them in a position similar to this, and it helps babies digest food. And again, one thing with children is it's very important to make sure that they feed small feeds. Very often people, especially when they're bottle feeding, they want to make sure that the children are taking their full 3 or 4 ounces. But a lot of reflux specialists believe that if you allow them to have maybe 2 ounces digested, and even if they're hungry again an hour later, it's very important to then top it off an hour later with that ounce. I find with reflux, though, that homeopathy is extremely effective. There are a lot of different forms of healing on the market. There are 3,500 homeopathic remedies.
Oh, boy.
And it's very hard to often find the one that is correct, but when you do, it can be remarkable. So you can get homeopathy in different forms. These are the most common forms. The pellets are quite large, but you can order online pellets that are actually the size of grains of sand.
Okay, so what is this
and look
exactly?
at this. Homeopathy is different plants and different minerals that help balance the body. And what you do is, when you speak with a homeopath or you look it up in the books, you'll describe the specific symptoms, like some children will burp a lot, and when they burp they'll spit up, and other children will just burp and never spit up. Other children will projectile vomit across the room. So when you're looking for a homeopathic remedy, you want to give very, very specific symptoms.
So do you suggest to parents then that they be writing everything down, almost keeping a journal, so you know what to tell somebody?
Yes, because you know, reflux, just like other illnesses, has one name, but there's so many different symptoms. If we talk about adults, you'll find that some adults with reflux can't handle spicy food. Other adults with reflux surprisingly do better when they eat spicy food. There's an herb that I love to use for adults. It's called bitters compound. And if you take that 15 to 20 minutes before you eat, what happens is it actually activates the digestive chemicals in your body, and what happens is when you go to eat, you actually break down the food and you dissolve the food quicker, so it doesn't have time to sit there and just reflux and cause pain. It also helps you get rid of the food quicker, which is something that people with reflux tend to have.
I could talk with you about this all day. We only have about 20 seconds left, so let's just touch on eczema real quick. What are some natural ways to help ease, you know, the painfulness of eczema?
Well, eczema, everybody reaches for topical things, and really we have to change the diet internally. It's really the foods we're taking in or the allergens we're taking in. All eczema people have types of allergies or are very sensitive to different chemicals in the air. I like an oil called plantain oil. It's not commonly used. You can buy it online. It's hard to find it at local health food stores. It's considered the green plant, and this really helps with the irritation. But of course you have to treat it on the inside out, and homeopathic remedies have a wonderful smashing record when it comes to eczema.
Thank you so much, Sara. I know you have so many great tips, and we'll put a link to your website by getting